so it's kind of creepy, but in a good way, and it's scary. So, all right. I don't want to look stupid. Last time I thought I looked really stupid on camera. I don't want to go there, but it might happen. So, so yeah. Happy Halloween season, everybody. I'm glad you could join me today. And like I said, I'm going to be making a rat loaf meatloaf. And when I say a rat loaf meatloaf, I mean a rat. This sucker is big. And as a surprise today, I have the finished product that I'm going to show you at the very end. So I made 2 rat loaf meatloafs. So that'll be fun. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous, so little potion swig. Pretty good. So anyways, always before cooking, I like to prepare. I like to put on my apron, which I do, and this one is appropriate because it's orange and black for Halloween. So there we go. And a little something else for the occasion. There we go. Happy Halloween, you guys. Let's do it. So like I said, this rat loaf meatloaf, I make huge meatloafs. I don't cook for small groups. I don't know what my problem is. I've always cooked for, even if it's 2 people, I cook for an army. I gotta work on it, but anyways, so this meatloaf is no different. I think I have 6 pounds of ground beef here. Okay, so I have it in a very large bowl, and you don't have to make a rat loaf meatloaf a 6-pounder. You can make whatever size rat loaf meatloaf you'd like to make. It can be, 2 pounds if that's all I would like to do. But like I said, I can't edit myself down. I should, but I don't. So I have 6 pounds of ground beef. I use an 80-20 blend because I like a good amount of fat in my ground beef, because that's where the flavor comes in from the fat. So 80-20 blend. You can use whatever meatloaf recipe you like. I am going to make up a meatloaf today for you. It's just a dump meatloaf recipe. What I'm going to add to my ground beef is some beaten eggs. I have 2. So here goes my eggs. I'm pouring in some milk. This is a lot because it's a lot of meat. I don't always season at first, but I'm going to season liberally with salt and pepper because there's so much meat. Boy, that's a lot of salt, right? And then my pepper, ground pepper. I like to grind my own, so again, a lot of pepper. I'm going to pour in breadcrumbs. You know what? I have this all written out on my website, and I'll make sure to leave the link afterwards so you can get the actual recipe, but we'll just pour in a bunch because that's the way I do it. Okay, horseradish. I love horseradish sauce, so that's going in just because. If it seems like a scary amount, that's okay. It's Halloween. So that is a scary amount. What am I missing, guys? Oh, something else. Minced onion. I like to add that just because I put in a good amount of that. There we go. It's kind of a dump recipe. And now for the part that's really scary. I'm going to get in there with my hands and mix it all up. I think I'm going to be up to my elbows, quite honestly, because there's so much meat here. So are you ready? Let's do it. It's a sound for Halloween. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you can see it. Be glad you can't. This takes a few minutes. And take off your rings before you start, like I did. So the method for making this rat loaf is I'm going to divide it in half, the mixture, after it's all thoroughly mixed. I'm going to pat it out on parchment paper, half. It's a lot of meat. So like I said, you don't have to make your rat. You can make a mouse loaf. I mean, maybe that would be the smart way to go. Okay, we're just about mixed. As much as I'm going to mix anyways for now. So let me quick wipe my hands. I'm going to pat them out on parchment. So here's the parchment. Let me spray them just a little with, for quick release. Okay, so here, half of the rat meat. It's not really rat meat, it's ground beef. But he's gonna be a rat. Okay, so here's half. Now that's a lot. What I like to do is I like to form him kind of like in a triangle. So, because in my mind a mouse's nose is pointy. So he's gonna have a pointy end and he's gonna have a back end which is wider. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just manhandling this rat. Okay? Pointy end. I don't mean to ignore you with the brim of my hat. But, okay, so here's pretty much what we have. Trying to go fast, but take your time at home if you're going to do this. Just take your time and get him shaped the way you like him to be shaped. Like I said, just so long as his front end is pointy. That's about all you have to worry about. Okay, yesterday when I made my demo rat, I forgot to do this part. Don't forget to do this part. This is the time when you have to transfer this rat onto your baking sheet. Okay? And I fit mine with a rack, you'll see. Okay? And the reason I put them on the parchment is so I could easily flip them, I hope, onto the rack. Ready? Here's scary. Okay. Voila. Okay, there we go. There's half of the rat. So I'm gonna fool with him a little bit more. Okay? But hopefully you can see how he's shaped. And now we're gonna stuff him, fill him. What I use is barbecue sauce. You can use any variety. We kind of like Sweet Baby Ray's. So squirt on a bunch. And then I spread it out with whatever. I'll use a spoon, it's handy. Okay, I don't go all the way to the edge with the barbecue sauce. Just because I think I'm gonna have to seal them with the top of the meat, and I don't want that to get in the way of sealing them off. Okay, so there's part of his inside. And then I take string cheese and lay that out. Okay. 2, 3. Forget how I did this yesterday. Seemed to be missing a string cheese, but that's okay. 1 there. Mark, did you eat a string cheese? Okay.
Too tempting.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
1 there. And we'll put 1 in the middle because there you go. So there's the inside. This is the good part because that's a part that gets melty and gooey. So when you know. So, okay, and then from there I like to add, because I just love these, the French fried onions. I like to add them in the middle because why not? They're good. And I'm also going to add these to the top too. So, I like to load them up. So there we have the bottom half of the rat loaf. So I'm going to set them aside. I'm going to grab another sheet of parchment. Okay, we're almost getting to the fun part. Well, this is fun too, but the real good part, the decorating. Okay, so another quick spray. Not too much. And then here's the other half, and I'm going to follow the same procedure to make the kind of modified. Okay, so here's going to be the top. Again, pointy end, wide end. Pat them out really nice. And then you see where I'm going here. I'm going to flip this top onto the bottom half of the wrap, as one does. Right? Okay, Again, take your time. I'm kind of feeling like I have to rush because this is probably not so much fun to watch. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is flip this, hopefully this goes well, flip the top of this rat loaf onto the bottom of this rat loaf. I'm gonna flip, whoa, okay, wow. That's a lot of meatloaf, people.
And that's what's for dinner today?
Yeah, I think we'll be eating meatloaf for, I don't know, a couple months. But this should freeze very well. And if anybody's local, want to come by for meatloaf dinner tonight, rat loaf meatloaf, got ya. I got it for you, okay? All right, so I think you see what I'm doing here, and I'm trying to press the sides together really well because I don't really want him to ooze when he's in the oven. If he does, that's okay too, but I'd like to keep some of his guts inside for this slice. I got him pretty well situated, I think. So what do you think? Not too big, is he? He's a porker. Actually, he's beef, but okay. Okay, so there he is, all in his glory. But here's where the really fun part comes in, you guys. This is where the magic happens. So we're gonna, what I did to make his ears, what I do to make his ears, I use the little red potatoes, okay? And I take slices out of the little red potatoes, stick those in there. Those are his ears. Cute, okay. Now we're gonna use a black olive. I'm working backwards here, but so you can see him. So I'm gonna stick a black olive in for his nose. He's starting to look like a rat, okay? And then 2 more black olives. Last time I made him, I used like little white pearl onions for his eyes, but I thought, beady eyes, black olives, let's do that. So I'm gonna poke 2 more olives in. Oh my gosh. See? There's his eyes. Okay, see him? So what I do now is I add more barbecue sauce to the top, and I'll add his tail in a second. Oh, more scary Halloween noises. Okay, that'll do it. And I smooth it out over the top. Okay. And you can use ketchup, it doesn't have to be barbecue sauce. And you could not use any, or you know what, put bacon on top. That would be really good. I didn't do that, but that would be really good. Maybe next time, if I ever make a rat loaf meatloaf again. Kind of doubt it. After these, we have 12 pounds of rat loaf meatloaf here at the house. I kind of doubt I'll be doing this again for a long time. More onions, more French fried onions, because you can never have too many. And if I use them on the rat loaf, then I'm not tempted to sit and eat them out of the bag while I'm watching TV. Have you ever done that? Oh my gosh. Have you ever done that, Mark? Probably not. Okay, I use breadsticks. Okay, you can buy these in the refrigerated section. You don't have to use these, but I thought it would be fun. So I just kind of work it out a little bit, stick it under his rear. Take 2, I like to use 2. And then just pinch them a little bit. When you bake this, because he's going to bake in a preheated oven, 375, well he's big, so he's going to take a long time. He's going to take like, I think the other one I made was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm going to say it was more like 2 hours because he's so big. But halfway during the cooking, you'll want to check on your rat loaf, because if the tail gets too brown, cover it with foil so it won't burn. But that's really the only thing you have to be careful of as far as the tail goes. So hopefully that makes sense. Couple other things I like to add. I didn't do this last time, but it's really fun and I think it's kind of cute. Teeth. He's got to have teeth. He's got to have scary teeth. The pointy little ones in the front. So these are almonds. Blanched almonds. Okay? If they fall out during baking, that's okay. You know, put them back in afterwards. Okay, hopefully you can see that because I think that's so fun. Okay, so there, he's like just about ready for the oven, you guys. The only other thing I do when I take him out, I don't put his whiskers in now because they burn in the oven. But what I'm gonna do, I'll show you what it, okay, spaghetti, why not? And then I stick, and again, do this after he's baked. Spaghetti whiskers. Can you see? Do you see?
Yeah.
Aww. Here I'm going, oh, but it's not really, oh, it's kind of gross. Wait till you see. The completed rat loaf, whiskers included. Now I'm going to bake him and take his whiskers out before I do it, but oh my gosh, look at, okay, you see his tail and everything? Like I said, don't forget to cover his tail halfway during baking so he doesn't, so that doesn't burn. All right, so are you ready for the, let's see how good of an ooze we get. Ready? I know I'm gross.
Ooze and ahs.
Who knew I was gross at heart? Oh my. He's a little firm. He's been sitting out for a while. I mean, not too long. Oh no, I don't think we're gonna get much of a ooze, but it makes a creepy sound. Let's see, people, can you see? Not too much. Well, at least I took his head off. That's kind of gross. Okay.
Good bet.
What? Can you see the insides? Anybody?
So probably be oozing more if you had just taken it out.
Yeah, if I had just taken him out, you know, let him sit for 15-20 minutes before you slice him. But had that, yeah, it would be oozing out right now. So sorry I don't have that part for you, but such is live TV. So there you have it, people. Rat loaf, meatloaf. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions for me or, you know, anything I can help answer, again, leave a comment. I'll come back later and I'll check on all of them. And right now, I could use another little sip. That's okay. It's calmed my nerves. So anyways, thanks for being here, you guys. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. So have a good Sunday. Bye.